Frederick Idoko runs a barbing salon in Kaduna. Just like Charity Paul, who runs a business center, the power situation has become most worrisome. Like the several households, particularly in the north, that are facing the harsh impact of the latest national grid collapse, they've turned to generators to keep the operations running in spite of the high cost of petrol.
If I want to charge based on gen, a lot of people tell me they'll come back when there's lights. So it has been pulling my business down. I have no option. And like for today, I have to go on the normal lights price.
It hasn't been easy for us at all because whatever we make from the business, we just use it on the fuel to sustain our business.
Similar lamentations of power outage abound from other franchise states under the Kaduna Electricity Distribution Company, including Kebbi, Zamfara and Sokoto, where darkness has become the norm.
Majority of our work depends on electricity. You can see I have to come to a private place to photocopy and print my documents here. Because there is no light, we cannot sustain buying diesel and maintaining the lights.
In Benue, the situation is similar, as essential services such as healthcare and water supply have been severely affected.
So even
Channels Television spoke to Dr. Stephen Hwande, the Chief Medical Director of the Benue State University Teaching Hospital, who said the facility now relies on generators to maintain 70% of its operations.
It's really affecting the services of the hospital, right from the entrance, because you need security lights, to service delivery. Like now you want to operate, you don't have light, you have to use alternative light source. You want to run tests and basic planning. We will run on budget. So now we have to source monies for those alternatives, source money for diesel, source money for generator. How do we put this on the patient? So right now the hospital is running around 30% on solar. But the other 70% will definitely be affected by this surge.
The Benue State's Greater Makurdi Waterworks has also been hit hard, operating only with rationed power provided by the Jos Electricity Distribution Company.
Since they collapsed, most of our systems are done. Though the Jos Electricity Distribution Company have tried by rationing the power.
The Jos Electricity Distribution Company has attributed the drop in power supply to system faults, reducing allocations from 35 megawatts to just 10 megawatts in Benue State.
The system have been monitoring our network, have been monitoring the grid itself. The allocation we have now cannot carry the entire Makurdi outworks. Sometimes we have 14 megawatts, sometimes as low as 10 megawatts.
Meanwhile, the situation remains dire in Bauchi. The Bauchi State Water and Sewerage Corporation says using generators to supply water is unsustainable owing to the high cost of diesel.
When we have good power supply, we can as well supply that 75 million liters. But with this development, when we rely now on our standby source of power, we can go as only as high as 40%. Which is quite small.
At the Bauchi State Specialist Hospital, the state government shouldered the costs of diesel and 3 generators, yet services are barely maintained.
The only thing we can complain is the issue of diesel. But even in that situation, just recently, His Excellency increased the number of liters that the hospital is supposed to be getting. But nevertheless, His Excellency has approved the increase to about 16,000 liters every month.
Professor Barnabas Ikio, a physicist from Benue, has called for the privatization of the Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, as a long-term solution, citing the success of telecommunication privatization in improving access.
The transmission infrastructure, I beg to say it is obsolete, and I can quote the MD of Transmission Company of Nigeria who said it on national TV. Now in the power sector, we need to open it up, bring in the people who are in the business, Let them do this as a business and let us pay for our services.
As Nigerian businesses continue to suffer under the recurring national grid collapse, there is a growing demand for sustainable solutions to Nigeria's energy challenge.